You there, Dim?
Yeah,
You heard from him?
the spread. No, yeah, I'll text him and come in right anytime.
Oh, were you waiting for us?
Yeah,
Oh, my bad.
I th
Yeah, we're good.
that's okay. Okay, I just text him. I think he's probably just waiting, so I'm just waiting for him to get in. I should have done the monologue. It's okay.
Tomorrow, what time tomorrow morning works best?
Somebody talking to me?
No, you're
10:30.
hearing feedback from our other call.
10:30
Yeah.
works for me.
Somebody talking to me?
Kevin Riley.
Well, you're hearing feedback from our other call.
Hey, Malik.
Yeah.
Malik.
Yep.
Just texted me and said he's just running late. Do you want to do the
Yep.
monologue?
No, you're
Yeah, let's knock it out.
Yeah.
Yes, 10:30 works.
okay. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna knock out the monologue, guys.
Copy, I'm rolling.
You ready, Dim?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just count you in real quick. And just go whenever. 3, 2, 1.
All right, welcome to another edition of Off the Mound presented by Sloan. I'm your host, Ryan Dempster. It's great to be back again this week. We enjoyed everybody who tuned in last week. We had a great show. We're really excited this week. We got World Series MVP Jermaine Dyde's going to be on the show, as well as the crime dog. Tell you what, Fred McGriff did a lot of damage on me. That's right, he committed a lot of crimes. That was doubles in the gap, line drives all over the field, a career 412 hitter off me. So I still have nightmares about him, but looking forward to sitting down with him. We're still in this time where we have no baseball. We're still waiting on Major League Baseball and the Players Association to hopefully come to some sort of agreement to be able to play games, although they probably won't be without fans. A bummer, yes, but just the fact they'd be playing baseball is a great thing. What do we have right now? We have replays. That's right, old games being shown, which I don't know. It's kind of fun taking a trip down memory lane and jogging the cobwebs and thinking about those old games. I remember watching games going, oh, yeah, I remember that at bat, or man, I even remember that pitch. It's been a lot of fun. For me, that's where it all started. As a kid, those memories that you have of your favorite ball players and, those magical games for, as a teenager, man, the 1992 and 1993 Blue Jays up in Canada, that was a huge moment. I still remember being at Simon Fraser University when Joe Carter hit that walk-off homer against Mitch Wild Thing Williams, and everybody there was celebrating and beyond joyful as the Blue Jays won back-to-back World Series. Funny story about memories and old baseball games. I'm playing for the Cincinnati Reds, and my teammate is Ken Griffey Jr. And I said, "Hey, Junior, man, you're old, dude. You're so old. I remember going to games in high school, and I was in left field, and you hit a home run in batting practice that I actually reached over the wall and caught. Still have to this day. I think it's sitting in my mom and dad's den somewhere, and caught his home run ball. And I was kind of poking fun at him, and thought I could get a little bit of rise of him. And of course, the quick-witted Junior turned around. He said, "Hey, Demp, I'm not old. I actually just graduated high school that year. So if you want to be in the big leagues at 18, you can kind of know what that's like." Kind of a nice little jab back at me for trying to poke at an old guy who really wasn't that old. That's what it's all about right now, watching these old home run derbies and all-star games and great memorable games of our past as we wait and look forward to games of the future coming, hopefully sometime soon. So we hope everybody is staying safe. I know everybody's chomping at the bit to have baseball, and hopefully we'll have it soon. So we got a great show for you this week. That's right. Like I said, we got Fred McGriff and Jermaine Dye coming up really soon, right after the break, and more Off the Mound presented by Sloan. We'll be right back.
That was good. So that was right at like 2:55. So
a little bit longer.
yeah, I just looked it up. Griffey's 50, you're 43, so that's a good little nugget. So he's essentially 7 years older than you. I'm trying to think what else we could add to that story. What game you talked about? Say again.
I think I was 12. So he was.
Oh,
I was 12, and he was. When's his birthday?
Let me look.
Maybe he was 19 at the time. I think he was 19 in the big leagues. Yeah, I was 12.
His birthday is November 21st.
Yeah,
69.
he was turning 19. That I'm pretty sure that was. I can even tell you the game. Game logs. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome everybody to this week's edition of Off the Mound presented by Sloan. I'm your host, Ryan Dempster. As usual, we're excited for you guys to join us this week as we have some great guests. We got 2005 World Series MVP Jermaine Dye is going to be here, as well as the Crime Dog. That's right, former Chicago Cub for a little bit. Fred McGriff's going to be joining the show. When it came to Fred and I matching up against each other, it was a little bit of a crime. Most of it committed on Fred's side. He was a .412 career hitter off me, a lot of line drives in the gaps, as well as back up the middle at my head that I was ducking out of the way of. So not a pleasure to face him. He always had my number, but always fun to compete against him, and looking forward to sitting down with him here today. We're still in this time, this stay-at-home social distancing era. We do not have baseball. We're looking forward to that happening, hopefully, sometime in the future. Major League Baseball and the Players Association are working on that right now, and we hope that that comes to fruition and we can watch some games. Although it won't be with fans in the stands, just baseball games being played is something that we're all looking forward to, and we could really use right about now. Instead, what do we have? We have old games. That's right, trips down memory lanes. We have all-star games and big moments. Kerry Wood's 20 strikeout has been aired. Games like that where we can kind of dig back in our archives of our brain of those wonderful memories of ball games that we watched in the days of yesterday. I know for me, I've been enjoying it very much, watching some of the old Blue Jay highlights. I remember being a kid growing up in Canada when the Blue Jays won back-to-back World Series. I still remember being at Simon Fraser University when Joe Carter hit that walk-off home run against Mitch Wild Thing Williams. And what a big memory that was. Everybody was celebrating and so excited to watch the Blue Jays go back-to-back. An incredible moment for Canada and for me as a young baseball fan, especially being a teenager. So special. And that's what we have, right? We have our memories right now to keep us attached to baseball. I remember actually being a teammate. Funny story about memories of a kid and baseball games. Being a teammate with the great Ken Griffey Jr. in Cincinnati. Now, I panned back and I remembered going to the Kingdome and watching Junior play when I was a young kid. Although Junior wasn't that much older than me, he was only 7 years older than me. And kind of one day we were sitting around playing cards in the clubhouse and I wanted to poke a little bit of fun at him. And I said, "Man, you're so old. I used to come down there and watch you take batting practice." I actually reached over the wall one day and you hit a line drive to the opposite field. He had this look of like shocker again, another home run, screaming line drive to left field. And he said, I said, "You're so old. I still have it. It's at my parents' house." And Junior said, "Hey, Dem, I wasn't that old. I was just in the big leagues when I was 18 years old. So maybe it's just the fact that if you want to get there a little bit quicker, you should have done that." So I thought that was a good little jab of the old man throwing it back my way. But those are the memories that we have, right? That's what it's all about right now. So we continue to just appreciate baseball for all it is, and for what we're hoping that we get going forward. And I miss it. You guys miss it. And we're really proud here at Off the Mound to bring on guests to give you guys a little bit of trip down memory lane and hear the stories, share those stories with some of the great players of yesterday, as well as some of the great players of today's game. So we got a great show this week. We're really looking forward to sitting down with Fred McGriff and Jermaine Dye. We're going to be right back after this with more Off the Mound presented by Sloan.
Perfect. So that was like 45 seconds longer. He's got something to work with
Cool.
between the two.
Cool.
What did McGriff give it a time?
Yeah, he said 12:10. So we got, what's that, like another 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
Do you want to do any? Do you want to do any of the bumps at all?
Yeah, let's talk about it. So,
Hey, Kevin Dusold.
Yes.
Jermaine,
If you go into the mixer,
you think Jermaine should be the B block, right?
Hold on.
Or no, Jermaine should be the C block.
Riley, hold on.
So I'm just trying to think of something good we can, out of Jermaine's thing that we can.
Let me know how that's looking, Suzanne.
Out of Jermaine's, say that again.
Just trying to think what we can bump for Jermaine.
Hey, I'm not seeing anything cut off, so you're good.
It looks like Fred is logged in.
Perfect.
Okay. Hey. Hey, Malik, I just sent you the Aussie voicemail,
Gotcha.
so we can use that. And we'll do the bump.
Kevin, are you seeing Fred? Boom.
Hey.
What's up? Do I need my earpiece? Hello?
It'll probably work a little bit better, yeah.
Let me see. No.
You guys got me through VMix.
Let's see.
Yeah, I got you, Kevin.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Hello, hello. Hello.
Hello,
Gotcha.
hello?
Uh-oh. Nothing. You hear
Do you
me?
hear us through your headphones?
Can't.
His headphones aren't connected to his computer or whatever he's using. He's got to go to the Bluetooth
No, I
settings.
hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Whoever was just talking,
Yes.
I heard.
Test, test. You hear me?
Hey,
here?
guys.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't hear.
Hey,
I don't
hey,
think we're good.
Fred, do you hear Malik? I'm the producer. Can you hear Malik?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Okay, Dim, can you try and talk to Fred?
Oh, yeah, Fred, can you hear me, man?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
It's not picking up his
Great.
microphone. But guys,
Yep, I'm with you. Hey, Fred, so we're just trying to
Great.
connect your microphone now to your headphones.
Yeah.
Do you want to sign out and sign back in real quick? That might
Okay.
help fix the problem here. Let's see.
All right. Let's see.
If you touch your
How do I
screen,
sign out?
there should be a box come up. If you touch your screen, it'll or touch your. Are you on your
Let me just
phone?
sign out. No.
Okay.
So, Fred, what you can do is just, are you on your a laptop or
Yeah, I think
desktop computer? Oh, there
I
you
think
go.
you just signed out.
So good. He figured it out. Good.
Damn, I was just going to say, slide a little to your right. I want to keep your Dempster Street sign in the perfect. You got it.
All right. Is that better? Was that better or no?
Hey, Fred, this is Kevin, the director here. Yeah, can you give me a quick 5 count, a slow 5 count real quick?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Perfect. All right, Fred, and then the only thing we want to do with you, if we could just center you up in your shot.
Yeah, because this so I didn't know all this in the background is a mess.
That's all right.
Okay. Okay.
As I say, close all doors. Perfect. And then if you just slide a little to your right.
All right. A little to my right.
All right, so keep going to your left a little and scoot more towards your iPad or your phone or whatever device you're using.
Yeah. Computer. Yeah. Okay.
All right, and then from there, just a touch more to your right.
Okay.
I know we're particular here. That's perfect right there. If you just want to reach your right arm and close that door right next to you.
Oh.
Yep, just if you can.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. All right, just hang like that, and I'll turn over to Dem.
How'd it go today? How'd you hit him?
No, I didn't play today. Today was the day off. Yesterday.
Oh, nice.
hey, Kevin, do you think his audio
Yesterday
level?
I got tricked. We played over at TPC of Tampa Bay, right? And
Yeah.
the guy didn't tell me the greens had got aerated. So I get to the course and the greens have been aerated. So we played max two putt and it was a mess.
Yep.
It's all the way up.
I'm playing tomorrow for the first time in forever.
Okay, now where you living at nowadays?
Chicago. We visualize a lot of
Okay.
golf up here. A lot of visualization.
Yeah. You probably got snow yesterday.
Dude, it's gone from like 60 to 40 to 70 to 38. It's
Yeah.
been nuts.
Yeah, I check out the Weather Channel and
Please, I'm ready.
it's still snowing. Some places up north it's still snowing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Dip, we'll
Yeah.
single you up, and then you guys can get going. So,
Yeah.
we're ready
We're
to
coming
roll.
in from the break, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
Now you on every day?
Once a week, every Friday. So we'll tape this all up,
Okay.
and then they'll edit it, and it'll go Friday.
Okay.
It's this week is you and Jermaine Dye.
Okay.
JD's on here too.
So see, you in good hands. You got Sloan as well. Hey, I met the owners of Sloan. They love the Cubbies, man. So you in
dude,
good
yeah.
shape.
Yeah,
Oh.
they're good peeps, man. They've been really good to me, and I try to be good to them too.
Yeah. You know, now every time I go to the restroom, you know, at a stadium, there goes Sloan.
That's so funny.
Oh.
All right, whenever there you go. Okay, Deb,
Yep.
I'll count you in. Good energy, have fun. 3,
Yeah.
2, 1.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on Off the Mound, presented by Sloan. I am very excited for our next guest. Not by the way he treated me out on the baseball field, but as a person, this guy is a number one. Let's bring in will be and should be Hall of Famer, in my opinion, former first baseman around the league, including World Series champion with the Atlanta Braves. He played on the north side of Chicago for a couple years. The crime dog, Fred McGriff. Freddie, how are you, pal?
What's up? You know, good to see you. You know, I'm hanging tough. You know, I feel bad for you in Chicago with the weather being up and down. I'm in sunny Florida. You know, I look outside and it's about 80 degrees right now. This is beautiful.
Oh, so the 412 you hit off me wasn't enough. Now you got to rub in the fact that you got really nice weather down there too.
Well, you know, Ryan, the thing about it is, see, I used to love it when you played with the Marlins and everything, because your pitching staff, I mean, you guys were coming right after people. I mean, you weren't playing games. You weren't trying to trick people and everything. You were coming gasoline yourself, you know, Beckett and the rest of the staff. I mean, you know, all the time they were coming right at you. So I knew going in, it's like I had to be ready because these guys are gonna come right at me, and it was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, we were always like, it was funny you say that because like Penny, Burnett, Beckett, myself, it was like, who could look at the radar gun and throw harder? Meanwhile, we'd face you guys with the Braves, and all those guys would be pulling the string on all our hitters, winning all the games. But man, we're throwing hard, so it's good.
but it's good to see you because it brings back a lot of memories, good memories, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. A lot of competition facing you. You know, I was mentioning, I talked about it before, memories of the Blue Jays, and you played in Toronto early on, and then you get traded. You go to San Diego, and then the Blue Jays win. And now all of a sudden, but then you get that opportunity when you get traded from San Diego to Atlanta, and boom, right away, you're in it. You guys are winning divisions. You guys are in the playoffs, and all of a sudden, the World Series. What was that like for you, thinking back to then, getting into an environment where year in and year out, you guys were the team?
I look back, you know, going back to my getting traded from Toronto to from Toronto to San Diego, and I got traded for Joe Carter, you know, and as you know, Joe Carter will let you know about everything that's going on all the time, right? So Joe, he has a golf tournament and everything, and Joe's like, oh, I want to welcome Fred McGriff. Oh, I love Fred. You know, if it wasn't for Fred, I wouldn't have a world championship. You know, Blue Jays. I'm like, thanks, Joe. Okay, but finally, get an opportunity to go to Atlanta and everything, and it was great because that San Diego team, we had a real good team, and all of a sudden we had a fire sale. The owner decided that he was going to get out. Baseball wasn't going to work in San Diego, and so he traded Gary Sheffield down to the Marlins with you guys, Craig Leffers, Bruce Hurst, Tony Fernandez. He traded everybody, right? And so the opportunity became for me to go to Atlanta and end up with the Braves. We had a great team, great players. You know, the great pitching staff with Glavine and Maddox and all those guys. And so it was a beautiful thing. Coming to the ballpark every night, knowing you got a chance to win, because chances are whoever we got on the mound, they're going to keep you in the game. And if you just score a few runs, you're going to win some ball games. And so it was a good time just going out there every night, just good people. Going back to Bobby Cox, the manager. I always laugh today because a lot of times, Ryan, managers, they'll say, hey, so-and-so, I'm going to name you captain and I'm gonna name you captain and everything, because I want y'all to patrol the locker room, right? And it's like, dude, you're the manager. You know, your job is to control that clubhouse and locker room, because they get to the point where like, hey, I'm making a good salary. I don't want to lose my job, so I want you to police that clubhouse. Locker room,
You
so
take
things
care
go
of it.
down. Hey, they can't blame me, and I can stay manager. So you see that.
That's it. That's right.
So Bobby Cox was the man, and he kept everybody under control. He was just a great manager. The thing about it, we won a lot of ball games, but Bobby had many moments where he'll blow up. When we'd be playing bad, man, he'll close that door after a game, and he would just wear us out. You know, like when your manager starts like firing away at you, you never want to look at your manager. You know, you always keep your head down.
Yeah.
You know, and doing everything. I was like, don't say nothing about me. You know, come on.
You start to feel
But
like
that
one of
was
those
Bobby
umpires
Cox.
he was yelling at all the time.
You know what I'm saying? But see, the thing about it, and I learned over the years, it's like Bobby had a rhyme and reason for everything. Because say, when Bobby got tossed out all those games, the thing about it is his players stayed in the game. Because your manager can get tossed out of the game and everything, and so you still got your everyday players playing. You got a chance to win a ball game. If your starting players get tossed out of the games, now you gotta ruin your bench. You gotta play for everybody. Things are going to get tight. So Bobby had a madness to getting thrown out all the time. But you better believe it. Any kind of disagreement, Bobby was on it.
Well, when we were in the other dugout and like, he'd get tossed for arguing balls and strikes when Doggy or Smoltzy or somebody's on the mound, everybody in our dugout would go, oh, great. Strike zone's going to get bigger. Because he stood up for his guys, and the umpires listen. They're like, I better start calling something, otherwise I'm going to have to throw somebody else out of the game.
Ryan, I laugh to myself all the time in the sense where, like, when I played with the Braves, and so Glavine and Maddox had those big strike zones, right? And you're in the field. I'm at first base, like, man, I can't believe he took that pitch, because you know that they got this nice little strike zone, and the guy took it. And all of a sudden, when you're facing Glavine and Maddox and you're in the opposing team, right? Now that ball's 2 and 3 inches off the plate, and now you're like, man, come on, umpire, man, you know that ball's off the plate. But their strike zone was amazing,
Yeah, well, and Doggy would always say, you young guys used to try to hit that, and you'd only hit it like 2 times out of 10, but we hit it 8 out of 10, so that's why we got it.
But
Dude,
you got these other.
I was going to say, you had
organizations.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Now you have these other organizations, right? They're looking for the next Tom Glavine and Maddox and everything, and they're telling their young pitchers like, throw like Maddox, throw like Glavine and everything, but they forget and understand that they're not getting Maddox and Glavine's strike zones. So you're trying to prep these pitchers and these young kids like, work the outside part of the plate and then throw one inside and watch these guys. Watch how they do it. Like, no chance, dude. You ain't getting that zone.
You not only played behind them, but you competed against all those guys a ton, especially, being on the Padres and facing them. Who, if you look at those 3 guys, what was it like, each of those 3 guys? Like, who did you feel like was the toughest to face, and who did you walk away scratching your head going, man, how did I take an offer right there?
Well, I tell most people that Smoltz threw the hardest. Smoltz probably, hit that splitter, and he's throwing 95, 96 miles per hour, because they're all different. Maddox had that cutter. When you're facing Maddox, that he wasn't going to walk you. So when the count get 3-2 or whatever, you got to be hacking. 1, because the umpire is going to ring you up if you don't, and 2, he's going to be always around the plate, which is great. Then you got Glavine. Glavine didn't throw hard, but he had great control. And so the thing about it, Ryan, and just think about it, the Jamie Moyers, the Glavines, a lot of your great left-handed pitchers, they struggle with left-handed hitters. So the Moyers and Glavines, when they see a lefty, they don't like that, because they were usually back in the day, you wouldn't throw a change. Lefties don't throw change up to lefties. And so mainly you're just hitting off his fastball and a little curve and everything. And so that's why Glavine would eat up. He had 300 career victories, but he would eat right-handers up. The managers would put all these righties to face Glavine, which is playing right up his alley, and he would just keep dinking away, throw something in, he'll get you out. Like I look at today's game, and I've been looking like at Kershaw and little stuff like that, and I notice how when left-handed hitters face Kershaw, they get him a lot of times. They either hit him out the park or whatever, but these managers keep putting righties against Kershaw, and he eats them up, and that's how Glavine made a living, just managers stacking lineups with right-handed hitters.
Yeah, it was. It was like literally just feeding right into his game plan. He's like, load it up. Give me all the righties you want.
Oh yeah. And,
You
then this
faced
day and age,
you faced a ton of guys like over your career, different numbers, and I was just kind of going through it, right? I was looking like you had a ton of guys' numbers, including mine. Like I said, dude, your OPS off me was 1424. It was so bad. I remember facing you, and it was the same day, actually, or a day before we went to the All-Star game in 2000. You were with Tampa Bay, and you lined out, and I remember you lining out and coming down the first baseline, and I said something to you like, really, again? And you just smiled with that smile you got right now, and you started laughing at me, and you just kind of it was almost like that Michael Jordan when he did the, I don't know. And it was just like everything you hit. I threw a slider in your shoe top, it was a rope down the line. If I threw a fastball away, it was the other. You saw the ball really well off me, so I tip my cap to you. It was good, but there was
like
guys.
I said, Ryan, you. Well, the thing about it, Ryan, I would tell you, because you would come right at me and the thing about it, but see, what kills me in today's game is that guys have all this arm guard. Because see, I was never scared of a right-handed pitcher, because right-handed pitcher, you always see the ball well coming, either up here or coming down low. So, but it was left-handers that you didn't see very often. Because growing up, when you're young and everything, you're facing mostly right-handed pitchers and everything, so you don't see lefties. So when you see the ball going away from you, it makes it a lot tougher. But nowadays, it kills me because the batters, they got elbow guards, they got shin guards. Some guys haven't even got hit in the face, and they got jaw guards. So now I laugh at the Justin Turners and all these other guys. They play big and bad. They play like they so big and bad. They get on top of the plate, right? And they're like, come on, come on. I'm like, dude, take off the arm guard, take off the shin guard, the chin guard,
the face
take
guard,
off all that mess. Yeah, and now let's play. Okay, now let's play ball. Because now, as a pitcher nowadays, they got no chance. The hitters are just they're on top of the plate. Where are you gonna pitch them? You got no chance. It's like, and then like I said, you hit them, and they're just like, okay, they run down to first base, and so you get in situations where you got men on second and third, bases loaded, and the pitchers, they don't want to hit the guys, because they got a long guard on, so they just leave balls right over the plate, and they get killed. So pitchers nowadays, like I said, if I was commissioner for a day, I'd be like, okay, off with all the shin guard, arm guard, face guard. Now let's see what you got.
I'm on that. I want Fred McGriff as commissioner for a day, because as a pitcher, I watch that. I'm like, these dudes look like Transformers up there. They got more body parts, extra padding, hockey goalies or something. I don't know what's going on. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, now Rizzo. Rizzo in Chicago, he doesn't wear arm guard. He just goes
says, go ahead.
And hits, but the rest of them, because it kills me. Don't play Billy bad when you got all this stuff on. You know what I mean? That ain't right. You know what I mean? You got nowhere where you're gonna hurt me, because that little ball hurts. Believe it or not, it hurts. And so if you take one on the elbow, I mean, that may put you out of action for 2 or 3 days, because that little stinking ball hurts, man. You know what I mean?
Yes, it does. Yeah, I've been hit. That's the only way I ever got on first base, is if somebody hit me.
Yeah. I laugh because people say, Fred, who's the toughest pitcher you face, right? And of course, you just say Randy Johnson, because everybody knows Randy Johnson. So you say Randy. But man, in the minors, in the major leagues, man, you're in the on-deck circle, and you see these wild lefties, a lot of the Latin guys coming up in the minors. They're wild as I don't know what, right? So you're scared. You're in the on-deck circle like, oh, brother, I got to face this guy. I don't even know where this ball going. Because the worst is when you get hit when the guy ain't trying to hit you. That's the worst. You got to go down there. When the dude, he has no clue where his ball is going, dude. And then you just know you're going to wear it. You're like, I don't know where this guy going to hit me at, but I know he's getting ready to hit me.
Well, when they did throw it over the plate, you crushed it. You 493 home runs, 1,550 RBIs, 5-time All-Star. You raked in the playoffs, over 300 hitter with 10 homers, 37 ribbies. That's like, big numbers in the playoffs. And then when you put all those together, for me, I said it when I introduced you, is I feel like you belong in the Hall of Fame with those numbers. And I'm not alone. I know a lot of people feel that way. Do you feel like, with the Veterans Committee and going forward, A, do you think that there's a possibility that you'll get in? And B, what would that mean to you to get into the Hall of Fame?
What do you tell me? It's a good possibility. But I've been very blessed, Ryan. I got cut from my high school team, in 10th grade. I never played the outfield before. And they had a senior first baseman, a guy named Izu Segura. So I'm like, man, I got no chance to play first. So I'm going to try for the outfield. I never played it before. Long story short, ended up getting cut. So I had to go back and play at my Little League, West Tampa Little League over here in Tampa and everything. So for me, to overcome all that, be blessed to play 18 years in the big leagues, for me to hit one home run, because I grew up going to Tampa Tarpon Cincinnati Reds spring training games when they had here in Tampa. So for me, to just get one day in the big leagues, I mean, it was awesome. You know what I'm saying? So everything else is like icing on the cake. And so it would be awesome, but you got to keep going on. You got to keep some things that you can't control. If you can't control them, then, hey, you just keep rolling and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, I hope it happens one day for you because you deserve it. So, hey, so what we did was we opened up Instagram to all the Cub fans and Marquee Network sports fans because we wanted to see any kind of questions they would have for you. So, would you be cool if we just did a little bit of Q&A with some of the questions that they asked? They're great. They're great questions. There's nothing too much. Yeah.
Oh, brother.
So we had some fun ones, and they're good questions, actually. They're really good questions. So this is a little segment we're going to have. This is our questions from our RG fans right here. First question, and I thought this was a pretty cool question. What was it like having your swing complimented by the great Ted Williams? Because that's an amazing thing right there when you have that guy say that.
Well, Ryan, think about it. I laugh now because nowadays, with this stay at home with the coronavirus and everything, I've been watching a lot of the Shark Tank. So I'm sitting in the house, I'm taking swings and everything in the house with a bat and everything. I'm like, I got to come up with something that I can take to the Shark Tank. So last night I was swinging in the house and everything, and I was like, see, I know, because I laugh because they'll say, because when I tell people like, hey, I swung down, and then they say, Fred, you didn't swing down. Okay, I know I didn't swing down, but I'm thinking swing down, level swing, and so forth, and come up. So I'm like, can I come up with some kind of gadget that I can take to the Shark Tank that I can get sell to the young kids, young families and everything. So get the kids to swing more level and not like just straight up launch angle. Because, people forget sometimes that launch angle is measured after you make contact. Once I make contact with the ball, now my launch angle is 0, 10, 20, 30, whatever. It's not like swinging straight up. That ain't launch angle. But I laugh because on the Twitter and Instagram, you got all these gadgets out there, people doing this and that. I'm like, I got to think of something.
Yeah, well, that's what you got to have right there. You just say like the Fred McGriff swing complimented by Ted Williams, and you can show it like that.
And then I go with guaranteed to get results.
That's Hey, you already have one commercial that lasted forever. You don't get another one,
You know what I'm saying?
All right. Number 2 right here. Who was the toughest pitcher you faced?
Toughest, I would say, Randy Johnson, just in the sense where he had he had a big time slider, good slider, and plus he threw hard and he was wild because, like I said, fear plays a big part. So for me, you're trying to stay in there and keep your shoulder in there because he has that slider. but he's all over the place. And so I always tell myself, like, I laugh because you know you're on TV, right? And so you go, okay, don't embarrass yourself. Don't let him get you like 3 or 4 times in one game, okay? Just make contact. I don't care where this ball goes, but just put it in place somewhere, and you can run down to first base, and you can be laughing like, yes, I made contact. You know, that's all I want to do. You know, I'll get somebody else tomorrow. Somebody gonna pay tomorrow, but for this day, I'm not gonna let Randy hit me in the head. So Randy was the toughest, man, because you tried to hang in there, but he was a little wild, man.
Yeah, he was nasty. All right, 3, and this comes from obviously the fans on the north side, and you know you played 2 seasons in Chicago. You know, what was it like to play at Wrigley Field for you?
Oh, Wrigley was awesome. I mean, the only thing that kills me to this day is that, like, I had a total no trade clause in my contract once I was playing in Tampa. I had a total no trade, right? And I'm from Tampa. I was raising young kids and everything at the time and so forth. And so the GM for the Rays at the time, Chuck Lamar or whatever, he goes public and says, oh, I have a trade, Fred McGriff going to the Cubs or whatever, you know, and everybody loves the Cubs, you know. So he comes out and he says that without even giving me time to decide on what I want to do, da 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 da. So now I was almost in a no-win situation, right? Because if I did good in Chicago, it was great. But if I had a bad game, it was like, oh, he didn't want to be here right away, you know, little stuff like that. But other than that, you know, Chicago is awesome, you know. But I think about it, tell people, you have to get up early in the morning, take batting practice. I mean, we're taking batting practice at 10 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, really, at 10 o'clock in the morning, because you're the home team, right? And so
Yeah,
it's tough, but I had a great time, you know. And the best part of all, and I laugh about this, is I'm taking batting practice almost every day with Sammy Sosa, me, Moses Alou, and Sammy Sosa. We took batting practice at the same time every day, at home, on the road. Okay, and here you got Sammy's hitting home runs left and right, you know, over scoreboards, over everything. And so wherever Sammy went, you know, it was a big crowd for batting practice. For batting practice, we're talking about 10, 15,000 people everywhere, right? So Sammy's hitting bombs, right? And then me and Moses Alou, we got to get in the cage, right? And then whoop, whoop, we punching balls to left field. It was like embarrassing. It was crazy. Sammy hitting balls, moonshots everywhere else. So it was a trip.
Well, when it
man.
came time to the game, though, you were hitting homers in the game. Dan Plesac was telling a great story about the wind blowing in about 30 miles an hour, and you hit an absolute just missile left field off of him. And Plesac's no joke. You want to talk about tough lefty on lefty matchups. I think you got a heater down and away and just hit a rocket to left field, cut the wind. And he still, to this day, says one of the most impressive home runs he's seen at Wrigley.
Oh, there's no question. Every time when I see Plesac on TV, right, I know what kind of stuff he had. Like you said, he was no joke, you know. So when you see Plesac, you just go like, okay, he was a good pitcher. I laugh. I tell people like you know, you play in these charity golf tournaments and different events where you see ex-players and everybody else, right? And so, you know, if you hit a home run off a guy, then you know, like when you see him, when they say like Tom Glavine over there, or you know, Joe McGrain or somebody like that, you know, you're gonna hit home runs off of them. So you can go up there like, hey, what's up, man? What's up, Greg? So when you see Plesac and stuff like that, you're like, hey, what's up, man?
So good,
but
man.
One part that was great is that, you know, playing in all-star games, you know, it was great because, you know, when I'm facing a pitcher, I'm trying to get an edge on him and so forth, right? And so all-star games are great because you go there and you got 15 or 20 of the best pitchers in the game, right? And so now, you know, every guy you see, like, oh man, you got great stuff, man. You know what I mean? And then when they ask me to sign a ball, when they say, hey, when the club says, hey, so-and-so wants you to sign a ball for him, I know I got him. You know, because I know he wants me to sign a baseball. So when I face him again during the season, hey, it's gonna a beautiful thing, you know. And so you couldn't wait to sign that ball. When they tell you a pitcher wants to autograph, you're like, you know, well, hey,
Yeah.
hey, where you want me to sign
Where's
this
he
ball
at?
at?
I'll go get it. Let me go get him right now. I'll go sign it right now.
I'm gonna sign this ball so quick, man. But so at the All-Star game, you're like, man, you got great stuff, man. That slider and cutter you got, man, it's just.
You're
great,
setting them
man.
up then. I loved it, man. Well, hey, you
Oh, yeah.
were great. You were great on your time on the north side of Chicago. The Cub fans loved having you over at first base. Everywhere you played, San Diego, Toronto, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, even the Dodgers for a little bit. But, you know, you were a fixture at first base, one of the premier players, and so humble about it. It's fun to see you smile and catch up on these memories of all this great time. Thanks so much for sitting down and talking with us today and taking a trip down memory lane, because right now there's no baseball and that's all we got. We really appreciate it.
Oh, anytime, Ryan. You're a good man.
Thanks, Fred. There you guys have it, man. Thanks
Yep.
so much to Fred McGriff for joining us here on Off the Mound. And we're going to be right back after this break with our next guest. That's right, 2005 World Series champion and MVP of that World Series, Jermaine Dye, is going to be joining the show. Stay right with us.
Good job, guys.
Dude,
Hey,
that was
dude,
so awesome,
hey,
man.
Sorry I didn't stay in the middle of the screen. I was trying to,
Oh,
use
dude,
my
it's all
hands
good,
and stay
man.
in the screen looking. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's all no, being you is what it's all about. That's the most important thing.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So great
All
to
right,
catch
Ryan,
up with you,
I'll
man.
talk to you.
I look forward
Okay.
to the next time we're playing in a softball game together.
You know what I'm saying? Be good.
Yeah, heck
Are
yeah.
you still with MLB? Please sack those guys.
Yeah.
Good job.
I will for sure. Yeah. And then the Marquee Sports Network, the Cubs just launched this the beginning of this year too. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's cool. So is
Yeah.
it going to be Cubs exclusively, or the White Sox going to be on there too?
No, just Cubs. It's almost like a Yes or a Nesson,
Oh,
but
is it? Okay.
yeah. So we are
wow.
like, you can catch it on Direct TV if you have Direct TV. It's I think channel 664 on Direct TV.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sweet.
Okay.
Well, hit them straight when you're out there, Fred.
Okay.
Great.
I'll
Thanks
talk
so
to
much
you.
for joining us, man. Thanks for the time.
Appreciate
Dude.
it.
Okay, bro. See ya.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to do him first or second, but that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's why. Well, I figured we were doing Jermaine.
and then you'll do another Sloan intro into the D's.
For that. Yeah, I'll make another video. I already have the script. I'm just working on it right now.
Okay. Well, let's just do this bump then, right now.
So this is bumping.
You're done with Jermaine Dye, and you're going into your voicemail, teasing your voicemail.
Yep.
All right. So again, keep it to like 10 seconds, and we'll do a couple of these.
Yep.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Big thank you there to Jermaine Dye. Great catching up with him. 2005 World Series MVP. So special. But it was his manager of that 2005 team, Ozzie Guillen, who recently made a little phone call. And let's see what he left in Demp's voicemail.
All right. That was a little long.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Yep.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Big thanks to Jermaine Dye for joining us on the show. So much fun to catch up with him. Now, as I said before, I always love what's inside my voicemail. You leave me a funny message, makes me happy. Sometimes you get a call from the unexpected. Let's take a listen in to this week's edition of What's in Demp's Voicemail. One more. Let's do one more.
Well, hold on. I want to make sure we're on the same page. So this is your bump. Like you just finished with them. That was more of a toss to the.
Yeah, I got you. Oh, so I'm okay. I got you.
You just finished the interview.
Yeah.
When we come back on Off the Mound presented by Ryan Dempster, I'll give you a glimpse of what It's Jermaine's teammate
Yep.
or something or whatever,
Yeah,
former manager.
I got
Whatever.
you. I got you now. I messed that up. I see what we're doing. Okay, cool.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
So great to catch up with Jermaine Dye. Thanks for joining the show. And when we come back, that's right, we have a little message from Jermaine's manager of that 2005 team. I don't know. Let's check out what's in Demp's voicemail after this break for more Off the Mound with Ryan Dempster. Do that again. I got
Yep.
it. Okay. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it was much better. 3, 2, 1.
Always great to catch up with Jermaine Dye right there. As we come back with more Off the Mound presented by Sloan, we're going to take a look at a message from his manager in what's Demp's voicemail. Hold on. Let's do that again. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I got it.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
So great to catch up with Jermaine Dye there. But the message I got from his manager from that 2005 team, well, that'll perk your interest. That's right. Coming up after the break, it's more Off the Mound with Ryan Dempster presented by Sloan.
That was right on. That was a good tease.
Okay.
You want to do it one more time?
Yeah, one more time.
Okay. There we go. 3, 2, 1.
Always great to catch up with Jermaine Dye right there. Coming up after the break, though, we got a little special message from his manager of that 2005 team. That's right. We're going to go into by voicemail as we come back with more Off the Mound with Ryan Dempster presented by Sloan.
Okay. So now we just have to do the goodbye. So this is after the voicemail. Do we know who the guest is? Second guest?
Next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Kerry Wood and Kerry. So tomorrow, Thursday, we're filming Kerry.
Okay,
11.
great.
Yeah, Kerry Wood, Frankie Ballard, but I'm not and special guests with Kerry Wood,
Right,
Frankie
okay.
Ballard, and I'll tease it with like and somebody, and maybe somebody will drop on by, type thing.
Right, okay. I just didn't know. I
Yeah.
forgot about Carrie. But Carrie's at what time?
Yeah. I think
So
11 or 11:30. I'll look and see.
Okay. All right. So then let's just try and do this, and then we'll be done for the day. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Never short of wanting to have a good time is Ozzie Guillen. Well, we want to thank him for that voicemail. We want to thank you, the fans, for tuning in to Off the Mound with Ryan Dempster here this week. So great having you guys join us. And don't forget to tune in next week. That's right. We're here every Friday. Next week, we got Chicago Cubs legend Kerry Wood's going to be joining the show, as well as country music star Frankie Ballard, and possibly a special guest. You never know. Tune in next week to Off the Mound with Ryan Dempster, presented by Sloan.
Oh, it's good. Let's do one more for safety. 3, 2, 1.
Well, never short of wanting to have a good time is Ozzie Guillen. We want to thank him for that. Well, tune in next week. Do that again. Ready?
Yep. 3, 2, 1.
Always, never afraid of a good time is Ozzie Guillen. That's right. Well, we want to thank all our guests this week. That's right. The Crime Dog Fred McGriff, 2005 World Series MVP Jermaine Dye for joining the show. And tune in next week. That's right. We'll be here Friday at 7 p.m. as we welcome Kerry Wood, the Chicago Cubs fireball legend, and country music star Frankie Ballard will be joining the show. And maybe somebody might just stop by and surprise us. That's right. Next week on Off the Mound with Ryan Dempster, presented by Sloan. Let's do one more.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Well, never afraid of a good time is Ozzie Guillen, that's for sure. Thanks to our guests, Fred McGriff, Jermaine Jai, for joining the show. So much fun to catch up with those guys. And tune in next week when we have Chicago Cubs legend Kerry Wood's going to be joining the show. Country music star Frankie Ballard, giant Tiger fan. Who knows? Maybe we'll surprise him with a little surprise guest. That's right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Join us next week on Off the Mound with Ryan Dempster, presented by Sloan.
All right, we got some options there.
What do you think? Was that okay? Did I stutter there? Too long?
No, it's fine. We got 3 to do, so they're all good. They're all in the 30-second range.
Okay.
All right, I think you're good. I think the next thing is just you and Jake on Zencaster. And then that's it.
Okay.
Can you just text me and let me know what time Kerry Wood is?
Yeah, I can tell you right now. Hold on one second.
Okay.
And then tonight at 8:30, correct, right?
Yeah, tonight at 8:30.
But like I said, I'll probably get on a little earlier, like at 8:15, 11:30. 11:30.
Okay, so 8:15
Or
tonight,
30,
you'll get
30.
on.
Tonight at 8:30.
And you'll try and have Trammell get on at 8:30.
I'll get him on at like 8:20 or so, and then he